What's going on, guys? Winner Kills here. Welcome back to a brand new post-commentary duel video. We've got me piloting Mermails on the right and my brother piloting True-Draco on the left. I think this video was going up the day after the Brandish vs. Mermail video. I'm still playing the same build I was in the previous duel video. Like I said, I wanted to switch over to the link heavy build, but I didn't have the cards with me because we did go out to our locals. Didn't feel like going home and grabbing cards, then coming all the way back. Of course, I do open a Droll and Lock Bird. Not going to be able to use that. I'm going to actually open up 2 copies of Droll and Lock Bird. Not going to be able to use either, unfortunately, because he has a bit of a lackluster opening and leaves 2 cards dead in my hand as a result. So Teus will come down. He's going to chain Majesty Maiden. Yes, it's a proxy. Still waiting on some of these damn cards to come in the mail. Some of them take a lot longer than you'd expect, but it is what it is. So I go ahead and ditch, I believe it's Moulin Glacia, because Moulin Glacia is not doing me any good in my hand right now. There's no real way to set it up. So I go ahead and grab Dine. I believe that might be Moulin Glacia that I discarded. I think maybe it's a copy of Megalo. I can't really tell. There's a glare there for some reason. There usually never is. But I put Dine on the field strictly because I just wanted to get it out of the deck and onto the board. Because you can only really use Dine when you search it off Teus with no other card to discard. So I go ahead and normal summon Diva. That gets struck, and I have to pass it over to him. Unfortunately, Diva is a very fragile play. It's like it always has a target on herself. Like, there's always a big red target, a big sign saying, hey, stop this card, and you pretty much stop my turn. But I guess that's just how it is for Mermails as of late. I do have the Raigeki. He'll only be able to chain either Maiden or Ignis, either as a spell or add a monster from deck to his hand. I have the Raigeki right there because I need to be able to stop him from grabbing another search. He go ahead and grabs Dynamite Knuckle off of Maiden. Does not use the Ignis search, but I have to pass there because I still have 2 Droll and Locks and a Teus in my hand. Unfortunately, can't do really anything with those. He's going to use Disciples there to recycle 3 True-Draco or True King cards back into his deck, then draw 1. Digesta Emerald is pretty cool, I heard. After I do that, or after he does that, I'm going to go ahead and Droll and Lock, because I believe he drew into Cards of Demise, which is really strong, because he won't be able to use that, which was actually a really, really good time to have that Droll and Lock. He's going to be able to tribute Disciples to get that extra normal summon effect to tribute, and summon out the Dynamite Knight. And now I summon Swap Frog, and hoping to get some sort of play going here. Swap Frog summon, activate the effect, and he's going to have another Apocalypse and tribute away that Apocalypse to destroy. Of course, the effect of Swap Frog will still go off, so I'll still get to send Ronin to the graveyard, and he did get to chain Dynamite Knuckle in the process. I go ahead and scoop that game. Not a whole lot I can do with the resources that I have in my hand. So we just go game 2 and end up siding in some red reboots and some unending nightmares, some fun ending nightmares. Now, my hand is actually pretty good here. Granted, I opened up Moray of Greed, and I've got 2 targets to put back in deck. Luckily, the Bisdine and the Megalo, put those back. I have red reboot in hand, so if I draw Prince here and any other good water, I can OTK 100%. So I'm feeling pretty confident. I draw Infantry, and I draw Twin Twister, and I draw Prince. So we're pretty much in business at this point. I summon Prince, and he goes to activate Skill Drain. I pitch the red reboot from hand. I'll pay the 4,000 life points to pretty much seal the game at this point. I believe he sets Eruption from deck, or perhaps an Apocalypse. Send Dragoons, add Dragoons and Megalo. Luckily have that Infantry in hand to fuel the summon of Megalo. If I didn't, although I would have to probably Moray again and see what I draw into. Megalo ditching the Infantry and the Dragoons. Megalo 3, Infantry 2, Goons 1, and then tribute the Prince with a double attack. Summon out Infantry 32, 32, and 18, which I believe is 8,200 damage, just enough for game. So we quickly go ahead into game 3, where he starts his turn off with a Rocky Boy, which is going to leave, which I believe the Troll Lock in my hand dead once again. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot you can do against Rocky Boy because it doesn't stay on the field. It's only on the field when you really want it to be, and that's during your turn when you don't want your opponent interacting with you and using any hand traps. So, card is very, very busted. I don't know how I feel about Amano Iwata to this day, but I guess it's still legal. It's still something we all have to deal with. So, Duality into Demise. Only drawing into 2 there. I had to put an extra card back. You just always got to remember that you only draw until you have 3 cards in your hand of Demise. Really only want to use it when you'll get 2 to 3 draws, though I'd probably say that's the best thing to do. It's going to activate Diagram, play Heritage, pop Heritage, add another copy of Heritage off Diagram, and then I'll play that and get to draw 1 card. Upstart Goblin, draw another card. Just hopefully trying to draw into some floodgates here. Looks like Apocalypse is in hand, so that's going to be a very good card for him to have as well. He'll set that, normal summon the Maiden using the effect of Heritage. Even though he already normal summoned the Iwata this turn, he'll be able to get the additional normal summon because of the effect of Disciples. I have Reboot in hand and Twin Twisters. But it's a matter of being able to OTK at this point. I start my turn off with the Twin Twisters because I know that the pop effects that his cards will have won't really affect me. So I hit Diagram in the middle set. And then I believe he ends up chaining it. Which, honestly, I think I should have saved the Twin Twister for him before he, like, activated it. That way I would have been able to destroy it without him getting the effect off. So, he'll be able to activate that and then tribute for a card that is in his hand. But I don't believe, based on the chain link, so it'd be like chain link 3 Apocalypse, chain link 2 Maiden, chain link 1 Twister. So the Apocalypse has to activate immediately and tribute summon, but I don't think he'll be able to do that strictly because the Dynamite Knuckle wasn't in his hand by the time it went to activate, because he just searched the Dynamite Knuckle off of the Twin Twister activation. So I believe that's why he wouldn't be able to tribute summon there anyways. Hopefully that played out 100% correctly. It was just a bit of a confusing chain link, I guess, if you will. But unfortunately, I opened up Megalo, 2 copies, and Mulan, and I believe it was Dine, or perhaps Dragoons. He does have another copy of Apocalypse, so he can activate that as well. Opting, of course, not to activate the first one, obviously, because he wouldn't have been able to activate it in the first place. But he will activate the other one and tribute away that trap card to pop Megalo. I'll still get the search for Mizuchi and the search off Dragoons for the Neptibus. But, of course, I still have Red Reboot in hand, but it's just not worth activating there if I can't go for game. I activated it earlier in the turn because I knew, or earlier in game 2, because I knew I'd be able to win that game right then and there. I didn't feel like paying 4,000 life points this turn if I wasn't going to be able to get the guaranteed win. And then he'll get to search off the Dragoons effect off Dynamite Knuckle to play that True King Return from his deck. Summon Iwata, play the Duality, revealing Stormforth, another Iwata, and a Majesty Maiden. And I think it would probably be best to take Stormforth, which he ends up doing. He does have that True-Draco trap face up on the field, which allows him to tribute during your opponent's turn. I believe that's what the traps do, to get you that tribute. Some of the spells give you that tribute during your turn. So I'll take 19, 23, and 25 to the face. Thank God I didn't pay that 4K with the Red Reboot. Watto will return to the hand. And I believe I drew into a Twin Twister or a Moray of Greed, perhaps. So he's going to activate Maiden to add a monster. It's going to be Ignis Heat. I send Dragoons, add Infantry, or send Dragoons, and then I add Infantry. And then the Dragoons, of course, activating on a separate chain. He'll be able to chain Dynamite Knuckle to that and play Apocalypse from his deck. Unfortunately, he didn't set the Stormforth, so I don't have to worry about losing a monster to Stormforth, especially with his combination here. You know, which is nice. But right now, I can't get over Dynamite Knuckle. which is a big problem. So I end up popping the... I think I end up popping the Dynamite Knuckle with the Dragoons, or with the infantry. And that, I believe, a prince that I end up discarding will get brought back off of a Dragoons will get brought back off of a prince. And then I believe I pay 4K for a red reboot, or half my life points here, which I think is like 1150. So I pay 1,150 life points, set that Apocalypse back face down, and then he's going to go ahead and set another trap from his deck. Can't activate any other traps this turn. Now I believe he ends up setting the Monarch's Erupt, which is going to prove to be pretty futile. I attribute the Prince, of course, no effect, since I already discarded a Prince earlier. I either use the reboot and lose harder, or I use the reboot and lose a little less harder. Attack over 4, I believe 900, and then 32, and then 18, which unfortunately isn't quite enough to get me there. I believe he still had a couple hundred life points left. He did pay 15 from Strike once earlier in the game. But I do have a spell negation, so it wasn't completely in vain there to throw the red reboot as a death saving throw, if you will, to try and stay alive just a little bit longer, put the damage in, put the pressure in that I wanted to put in. I got a little bit of board presence here. He's going to activate the return. Of course, that's going to put Majesty Maiden back on the field to sort of wall up. But he does have Stormforth in hand, but that could get negated, as well as the first copy of any True-Draco field spell that he plays. He goes and tributes the Apocalypse for the Ignis, and that will obviously Apocalypse effect will be activated to go ahead and destroy Megalo, taking the Mizuchi along with it. I have 1150 left. Life point wise, as we know, Ignis is at 24. He'll swing over for 6, setting one face down, and I believe still not setting the Stormforth. Still new to the deck, I would say. Not fully realizing the capability of Stormforth with some of your traps like Apocalypse, but there's Eruption. It doesn't matter. That's going to end it right there. There probably was some super, like, Ultra Instinct, Super Saiyan play I could have made. Maybe there to win Game 3, but I don't know. The red reboot wasn't enough, and he had too many monsters on board to be able to get the OTK. So yeah, but that's pretty much going to do it for this video. And I think if I would have relied more on infantry pops, I don't get my Dragoon searches, which help to fuel the OTK, etc., etc. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed, leave a like if you did. And as always, guys, WinterKill signing out. We'll see you in the next one.